we're back. One of the things we didn't talk about tonight that I was going to mention, so here you are, here's a tidbit. Recently, I've been selling quite a few of the Inside Out Hearts teacup set. This is one of the items in the catalog that is quite expensive compared to other things, $79.99. I do use it a lot to talk to hostesses about because if they're admiring it and they're not sure that they want to spend the money that second, it is a really good half price item. So if they do have a party, um, it's actually one of our top 5 items for hostesses to choose for their half price item. But remarkably, I've had so much interest in it recently, whether I have brought it or not brought it to the party. Lots of gifts, shower gifts, that kind of thing, new home presents. And remember, an item like this, think of if you only sell 2 of these sets at a party, you're already at almost $200 mark. And that really, really helps your overall sales to increase your party from what might be 250 to 500. So don't forget about it. It's something that's very unique to steep tea. You can't get it in every store. So people admire it. They might see it in the catalog and then they ask you about it and then they tend to order it. Um, when somebody asks you about how your steep tea business is going, whether it's your best month ever or whether it's been a bit of a struggle to book parties, always say business is great. I really love what I do and it's fun, it's exciting, I get to meet new people, and I'm earning money towards that holiday that I'd love to go on. We all have days where we're not feeling quite as confident, um, but really you need to instill confidence and enthusiasm in the people around you who are asking about your business. So always find something about your business that you are feeling very good about it. Whether it's that you met some really great contacts, whether it's that somebody who's been putting a party on hold called you back, whether it's a new tea that you sampled that you absolutely adore, and that you know that you have customers that are gonna go crazy over this tea, and it will become something that they regularly buy. Always find something, and when you talk to people about your business, then you'll be genuinely excited about what's going on that week, and you'll project that on other people, and they'll want to do what you do. We talked a lot tonight about the tea and how what sets us apart as a company is how fresh the tea is. Um, we had a really good overview at conference about the length of time that the tea takes between actually coming from the plantation in another part of the world, China, Kenya, India, wherever the tea is from, depending on the kind. Um, it comes across by ship or plane, however it comes, in about 3 weeks from plantation to our head office in Hamilton, Ontario. And then it is blended and put in packaging right away and sent out to our customers, usually within a week of arriving at the facility. So, you know, talking about 3 to 4 weeks from plantation to cup, that's absolutely incredible. Many of the larger tea companies out there cannot say that that's the case. They have so many different warehouses in between, and once they get to the um, storefront, they will sit on the shelf for a little while because it's not packed per order. It's packed in advance for people to buy. So our tea is fresh. When you open the bag, there's always that great aroma that comes out. Excuse me. And that's something that sets us apart. The other thing is it's locally distributed. Um, so if you're selling tea in Kitchener, your tea, yes, it's come from the other part of the world that tea is grown in, but it's again not sitting in some sort of a warehouse distribution center waiting to be shipped. You're also supporting local people, right? Your consultant is able to um, earn more of a living and support the people around you, as opposed to some of the larger tea conglomerates that are owned by really large companies. We talked a lot about being prepared for a party, about consistency and organization. So even though you may change your presentation for every party that you do, which is something that I do because I have a big vault of information in my head and I just use the things that are pertinent to the audience that I feel I have there that particular evening. Um, but certain things I like to keep the same as much as possible. Generally, the order of the presentation, starting off, never forgetting to introduce yourself and why you're in the business. Even if you've approached that group of people or hostess before, it doesn't hurt to reiterate why you're doing what you're doing because it might just speak to them a little differently another time. I'm sure you won't use exactly the same words, but you know, they might not remember as much as you think they would from hearing it another time. Introduce yourself, talk about certain things, serve the first tea, talk about other things, serve the second tea, talk about some more things, usually more about the, hostess benefits and recruiting come closer to the end of the presentation. Walk them through the order form, especially with the new shipping. Don't forget to note that I've had a lot of success with some repeat hostesses in the last couple of months who have we've talked about the new shipping. I've had people who perhaps were reluctant to order, say, 2 bags of tea in the past and pay the 475. Now that it's a lot less, it's only 10%, they will try those two teas. And who knows, if they love them, they'll come back in and they'll buy more another time. So sometimes it's really been an advantage. The other thing is organization, coming to the party with all of the right things. Um, Katie was talking about how she does her all of her stuff when she comes home. So, if she's used a couple catalogs, she's used a couple order forms, she's unpacked or repacked something, putting everything back together with the current specials and hostess kits right in her bags, uh, right at the end of the party when she's come home, ready to go to the next one. So when she's off to her next party, basically she's just grabbing her instructions to how to get there. If she's made tea ahead of time or whatever she needs, and off she goes. Okay, so always being ready to do that impromptu party or just for your next party so it's not such a big hassle to organize everything. Um, Everybody does their parties a little different. Um, we talked about um, whether or not some of us use the computer at the party to put the order and put the orders. Some people are still using the paper forms specifically at the party. Personally, I've kind of went back and forth. For me, the issue has been either having a good Wi-Fi connection or having a solid internet connection. I also have a bit of an older laptop, so I might think about upgrading so that I can go back to doing everything um, at the party. The two benefits, largest benefits of inputting at the party are if something is out of stock, you know immediately because you won't be able to order it. So you can suggest something different to your guest. And the second thing is sales tax. Um, you know, knowing the catalog is great, but there are some things that you might forget, just the chaos that's going on at a party. It's a collection, it's primarily tea, but there's a tea ball in it, so of course there's tax on it. The guest might not understand that, but you can catch those things when you're going through, especially online, because it's calculating the tax as you go. It's also calculating the shipping for you, so less possible errors. It only takes a couple of miscalculations of a couple dollars to really eat into your commission. So, it's embarrassing to go back and ask for somebody for another $1.25 or $3.75 or whatever that might have been on a taxed item. Or, if somebody carried the numbers wrong in a column. Um, often we'll end up covering those costs ourselves, or at least I would. But it doesn't take long for those things to add up. So you want to make sure that this is also a lucrative party for you as well.